External validity. The ability of a study to extend its conclusions from the specific environment in which it was conducted to other situations and other individuals. Generalizability. To what population, setting, treatment variables, and measurement variables can this effect be generalized? Ecological validity. The extent to which the results of an experiment can be generalized from the set of environmental conditions to another. Multiple treatment interference. Individual stuttering treatment plus group treatment plus psychological counseling. We cannot pinpoint the treatment effects of the specific treatment. Novelty and disruption effects. Take the child to a small room to test instead of testing in a classroom. Is it an effect of the change in environment? Would the results be the same? Pre-test sensitization. Individual tests before treatment. What are the situations that cause you fear of speaking? A pre-test interview. Post-test sensitization. Interactive book reading. After the experiment, the mother is aware of the importance of interactive book reading. Therefore, she will do more of it, and more often than those that did not participate in the study. To strengthen external validity, there is subject randomization or simple random sampling. Stratified random sampling. Step 1. Divide the subjects into group or strata, then random selection is applied for each stratum. For example, sex subgroups, age subgroups. Cluster sampling. All subjects are selected at random. For example, random school, random grade, random class, random student. If cluster sampling is done in a stepwise fashion, then called multi-stage sampling. First random school, then random grade, then random class, then random student. Study replication. No single piece of research is sufficient to formulate a general principle. Rather, each experiment contributes either by repeating or verifying what is believed by extending the generality of the principle, or a larger sample size. The Rosenthal effects. The phenomenon in which the greater the expectation placed upon the people, the greater they perform. Situation. All situational specifics. For example, treatment condition, time, location, lighting, noise, treatment administration, investigator, timing, scope, and extent of the measurement, etc., of a study potentially limit the generalizability. Pretest effects. If the cause-effect relationship can only be found when pre-tests are carried out, then this also limits the generality of the findings. Post-test effects. If the cause-effect relationship can only be found when post-tests are carried out, then this also limits the generality of the findings. Reactivity, placebo, novelty, and Hawthorne effects. If cause-effect relationships are found, they might not be generalizable to other settings or situations if the effects found only occurred as an effect of studying the situation. The Rosenthal effect. The interference about the cause-consequence relationship may not be generalizable to other investigators or researchers. The basic dilemma. There is a trade-off between internal and external validity. Having enough control by excluding extraneous variables, ensuring the results can be maximally generalized. Pilot research. The initial stages of experimental design, conducted on a small n, a trial run. It helps to establish a rationale for advancing a particular hypothesis. It serves as a reason for the procedure modification. It can be used to calculate effect size, and it may serve as a research signpost to point the direction for further investigation. However, a lack of control of extraneous variables, questionable dependency, and serious threats to generalizability or transferability can affect pilot research. Also to be considered, the duration of the study, the easiness of finding participants, whether the results were as predicted. If not, is there anything, the methods, the equipment, the setting, the task, or the instructions that went wrong? To recap, in between subject designs, the performance of separate groups of subjects are measured and comparisons are made between groups. In between subject experiments, different groups of subjects are exposed to different treatments or levels of the independent variable. In descriptive between subject designs, different groups of subjects are compared with each other with regard to their performance on some criterion variable. We first discuss some issues that concern between subject experimental design, and then consider several points that relate specifically to between subject descriptive research design. It can be bivalent, two groups, present or absence of treatment, multivalent, two groups or multiple treatments. We must ensure group equivalence between the experimental and the control subjects in all respects except for the varied distribution of the independent variable.